He cheating. All right. See what's up. Say shalom if you guys are on, so I can know when to start. Is it back on? What's all that noise? Is it on? All right, cool. All right, let's do it. I don't know what happened. It booted me out to the point to where it went to the main Facebook page where you could like scroll down the threads or whatnot. So, nonetheless, go ahead and give me Matthew 24 because I kind of lost my train of thought trying to fix this because it kept saying internet connection, but whatever. Matthew 24, 45 through 51. But that's dealing with the servant. It's not dealing with just atheists or unbelievers or people that deal with false gods. It's dealing with his servants. People are saying, oh, well, the Almighty's taking too long. He delayed this coming. And then he starts getting complacent, and now he's outside the will of the Most High. And he says he'll come in a time that he looks not for him and give him a portion with the hypocrites, with the unbelievers. Let's keep going. So, complacency with marriage, dating, intentions, giving your best. It's the same thing with marriage. For you to have a growing marriage, if you went out on dates once a week or whatnot, continue to go out on dates. If you were interested in showing up and giving her good morning and this and sending her flowers or vice versa, cooking meals for them, then continue to do that. You don't just say, now that I'm married, same thing. Give your body your best. Don't just get out of shape. A lot of guys, once they get married, they get this belly and like, oh, I'm married now. It doesn't matter. No. Why doesn't she deserve your best now that you're married 2 or 3 years? So she's undeserving of your best? Why do you feel that just because you had a kid or two by him, you can't get back in shape and give him your best? What is wrong with giving your spouse your best? If anything, give them the best because you're married, not give them the worst now that you're married. Give them the best. And we know, 1 or 2, 3 kids, stretch marks and stuff's not the same. You may not bounce back as quick. We know testosterone depletes with diet, or you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. Your body doesn't put on muscle and you don't have the tight look like you used to when you were younger, right? When you're 50 or 60 or whatever, right? We get it. But give them the best you are for your 50s or your 40s or your 30s or your 20s. Give your wife your best. You give your husband your best. You still have intentions. You still go on dates. You still interested in their day. You still give them your best. I try to make it to where Mrs. doesn't always see why I made a good choice. Man, he's a good leader. He's a good minister. He's a good father. Always try to say, to confirm and say they made a good choice. Yeah, I'm glad I married that wife. Yeah, I'm glad I married that husband. You know what I'm saying? And have that mindset. But once again, you get complacent and you're living off the past. And because of that, now you're currently a sucky person. If they know that if I was overweight and I looked like this, when we first met, my husband wouldn't adopt my number. My wife wouldn't have dated me if I was just coming like this. Then why are you doing it now? Why are you doing it now? If you know good and well, if you would have came looking like this or being like this or being lazy like this, and you came to her, she'd be like, you don't have no drive. You don't have no ambition. You don't have no goals. No, thank you. You probably went on 1 or 2 dates and she would have said, no, it won't work for me. But now that you're married, you don't have no ambition. Oh, I just want to come and just play video games and do this, and I don't really spend time with you and whatnot. If you would have did that when you're dating, you wouldn't have got married. But now you get complacent. Quit living off your past. You're only as good as your last job. Once again, with the servant, he deals with the present. You're presently a garbage husband or a garbage wife, or you presently need to work on some areas. You're presently not being consistent. You're presently not giving the attention and whatnot. Then they're going to deal with you accordingly. There was a video where a woman got mad because the husband wanted her to lose weight. And she's like, why I got to lose weight? And it's like, I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore. You know I'm not sexually attracted to fat women. You know what I'm saying? So, and she's mad. She's like, oh, this and this is like, you can't force me to be attracted to something I'm not. It's like a man that's no offense. Say if a man's 5 foot or something, right? And trying to force a woman that's 6 foot to be attracted to him. Like, why this and this? You can't force her to. So if your husband is attracted to this and you choose to go the opposite, or he chooses to go the opposite and become morbidly obese, and then they don't have an attraction to you, they don't enjoy intimacy, don't get mad at them, get mad at yourself. You got complacent. You're only as good as your last job. And we need to stop thinking about that, because you need to set boundaries. And that man set that boundary, and if she wanted to give her husband her best, how hard is it that you just lose weight and get healthy? Is that really hard? At the scheme of things, am I going to cause this much drama in our marriage simply because I refuse to lose 30 pounds? Out of the grand scheme of this man that's taking care of me, willing to provide, willing to put his life on the line to protect me, but I can't put 30 pounds on the line to please him? The man that when I'm old and I'm in a wheelchair, he's going to be pushing me and taking me to my hospital bill. Or when we get old, he's going to be at my bedside when I'm in the hospital for 3 or 4 days and whatnot, making sure I'm okay, but I can't lose 30 pounds for him. And to is that vice versa. The woman, that's a lot of times the woman's doing the driving and getting the man out of the wheelchair at that point. Sometimes they get old. It's like, but I can't give my best, but I can't get in shape, but I can't try to make more money, but I can't try to lead the family. You know what I'm saying? No. Give your best. Don't be complacent. Let's keep going. This all ties into setting boundaries. I'm looking at my notes real quick. This all ties to setting boundaries with your mom, with your coworkers, with everything, right? Now we're going to get into the aspect of doing this. All right, let's use some examples. Let's use your mom. Let's use your mom. I'll use some of my situations too. Let's use I'll use a real life scenario. I'll put G for grandma and not grandma, we'll say infant mother. I'm getting too deep. Mother, and we'll say daughter. Right? So the daughter has 2 brothers and a sister. So S, B, B. Grandpa died. Or the father died, right? Now, in the will, when they sell the house, the mom's supposed to get, I think it was like 40%. And then the rest got split up between the 4 siblings. What the mom tried to do is try to have them to sign these papers to sell the house, because they couldn't sell the house unless all the kids signed. But the mom tried to have them sign and not tell them that they're entitled to a percentage of the profits. Right? This is a true story. So they end up finding out, saying, well, I'm not signing nothing until you have something writing that you're going to dish this out to me, escrow and whatnot, if you will, right? Finally, she stubbornly does it, right? But my situation is, if my mom did that to me, I'll just cut her off. Obviously, you don't respect me. Obviously, and they're going to argue. The mother will argue, right? I'm like, I don't want you in my life. They're going to argue the fact, like, I raised you and I put diapers and I did this and I did this. Just like the person that says, haven't I not cast out demons in your name and did many miracles and did this? But you currently are doing me grimy. You could have a wife that is faithful for this many years and there for you, but she currently is not in your corner. You could have a husband, but he's currently putting his hands on you. He's currently verbally abusive. Even though he paid for this, he paid for your college, so you that bomb job you got is because while you were full-time college, you couldn't pay for your tuition and pay for your bills. He paid for all the bills so you could get into college. And you get into college, now you make 6 figures. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have got that degree. But 5-10 years later, he's putting his hands on you. Man, I got you through college and I did all this stuff and this and this. Yeah, but you're currently abusive, verbally, physically. You're currently treating me like trash, so I gotta leave you. It's not because you did all this stuff. There's a difference between the woman that wait until that man pays for the college and they did so, but they already had plans to leave him after he built him. They already had plans. Like some women already have plans. I'm gonna have 2 kids by you, and I'm gonna wait until we buy a house, and then I'm gonna divorce you and get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're leaving him because his current condition is abusive, and then he's using, I paid for your college and I got that. You wouldn't even be making 6 figures if it wasn't for you. And rightfully so, that's true. But you are currently a bad husband, and this is why we're going to have to separate, right? Because obviously if it wasn't cheating, let's say he's cheating, then you separate, right? And so my thing is with this situation is, if you have these people, right, that you show love, right? Here's you in the circle, right? You have these people. This is you. And you show love to all these people. Mother, kid, cousin, coworker. You're showing love to all these people. And none of these people reciprocate back to you. Or you give 100% and it's just 10%, maybe 15, 20%. If they're in trouble, you'll carpool and pick them up, or you'll allow them to stay at your house for a couple months, or you'll do this. But if the tables were turned, they wouldn't do that. Then cut these people off. Now, cutting these people off isn't necessarily mean you got to get them out of my life. Now, the situation with the insurance, I would just say you're not my mom no more. We're good. I don't, unless you're trying to repent and build a relationship, I don't want you in my life. Don't call me, don't this and this. I don't want to know if you're in the hospital. We're good. You know what I'm saying? Because you have shown me that you are willing to deceive me and lie for me just for some money. And I'm supposed to be your daughter or your son or whatnot, right? I'll just completely cut you off. But what you do is say, okay, obviously you just want a 10% friend to where we just come and say hi. That's fine. I'll accept you as a 10% friend. If you need help, you're in a jam, I'm not going to be able to help you. Even though I have the ability to help you, I'm not going to do it. Because you chose to be a 10% friend. I chose to be a 100% friend, but you chose to be a 10% friend, and that's fine. Maybe we'll carpool with each other and chop it up or whatnot. But if you're in a jam, and when you were in a jam and you needed a couple $100, or you needed a place to stay, or you needed this and this, or I visited you at the hospital or whatnot and came and helped you out when you're sick, and then when the tables were turned a couple of years back, you didn't have time, or you're this, and when I needed help moving, you weren't there for me. Whatever is inconvenient for you, you say no. But when it's inconvenient for me, I'm willing to go all the way. And this is why it says sometimes you're willing to bleed for these people that won't even give you a Band-Aid. And so if they choose to be a 10 or 20 or 30% friend, treat them just how they are. From now on, you get 30%. You set the mark. All that other stuff is cut off. We don't have that kind of relationship anymore because you decided to not have that relationship with me. These are my boundaries, and obviously it's not reciprocal. And the bottom line is like, well, why even do that? Because I want to give 100% and I have the ability. If you have these people that are 10% friends, why even have them in your life in the get-go? If you want to be 100%, right? You want someone to where you give 100% like a marriage or like a true friendship, right? Then why only have 2 friends that give 100%? Then just have 15 friends that you give 100% and they give 10. Just get them out of your life altogether. Slowly just phase them out. Set your boundaries. And if it's not reciprocal, then just, if you want them in your life, keep them as a 10% friend. Some people, they're co-workers, and I'll just talk to them. Some people, I'll go to the gym, and all we do is just go to the gym. We don't hang out or this or that, or if they needed a place to stay, I'm not opening my doors to them. I only really do it to the people of the Most High. There's a couple of few people that are 100% back to back that I would do it for. But other than that, no. And so you might have a mom. I have this situation where this is family DNA too, where the mom said some extremely hurtful things to a family of mine, and I said, cut her off. And then what she said, I can't, because that's my mom. And it doesn't matter if it's your mom, if your dad, it doesn't matter even if it's your wife. If she's currently, and I felt for her. I felt so upset that she said this to her own daughter. It made me mad. And she said, I can't, that's my mom, that's my mom. It's like, no. There is no such, I'm not going to push this on everyone, but I don't believe in titles no more. I've learned from experience that title means nothing. All right, let's say a title. We have the title right and backwards. Title, right? We could say mom, wife, husband. I'm not going to write them all. Son, daughter. I'm just writing a couple. Now, with the title, the respect that's supposed to come with the title, there needs to be an action that gives the respect. The action, a behavior that warrants the respect of the title. You follow me with this? Now, if they are a mom, but then they steal, they lie, they deceive, they say that your father's a deadbeat when he isn't, and she just did that to be vindictive to the father. So she caused you to not even have a relationship with your father simply because she's mad at how she's not with them, or simply she knows who your father is and where he lives, but because she's just a better person, she chooses for you not to know who your father is and say he just disappeared. Or there's a video where the mom slept with the boyfriend, her daughter's boyfriend, where the mom, and we can do fathers too, whatever, right? I'm just shooting stuff out there. I don't respect that title anymore because you don't have the behavior or the action that warrants that. If you have a wife, but you're cheating on me, but you're disrespectful, you're under, you don't have the behavior that warrants for me to honor your title. And that's why I don't even look at titles anymore. Wife don't even mean anything. Either you do right by me or you don't. That's how I look at it now. I've learned that titles, from my own past experience and from my experience of almost everyone I know, titles mean nothing. Only behavior means anything. I can say I'm a child of the Most High all I want. Haven't I not cast out demons in thy name and did many miracle works and heal the sick in thy name? I never knew you. I'm a virgin and I have my lamp. It doesn't have oil, but I came to the wedding. I never knew you. I'm a servant of yours. I've been serving, but you started to beat. Even though I started to beat and get drunk and whatnot, I'm going to cast you into outer darkness. The behavior doesn't match the word servant. The behavior didn't match the behavior of not having lamp oil in your lamp doesn't match the virgin waiting for the marriage, the bride waiting for the bridegroom. So if the behavior doesn't match, then I don't honor the title. So she's still trying to honor the title. I can't do it because that's my mom. But the behavior doesn't match a mother. A mother doesn't say stuff like that. A father doesn't do stuff like that. A husband and a wife don't do stuff. They are currently not what they need to be. I'm not going to say it's your wife because in the sight of the Almighty, that's still your wife and that's still your husband. But they are currently disrespectful and defrauding you, and you need to deal with them in their current state. You can't deal with the mom that raised you. Yes, that's 20 years of raising you. And if I've been serving the Almighty 20 years and I go to sin, I still go to the lake of fire. No, it doesn't matter. You're only as good as your last job. You're only as good as what you are currently as of today. So this is why some people need to cut off, because setting boundaries, once again, is self-love. When you let people do that to you, then you do not love yourself. I don't care if it's wife. I don't care if it's son. I don't care if it's mom. I don't care if it's grandma. I don't care if they saved your life 5 years ago and you would be dead if it wasn't for them. Right now, they are destroying your life. They are defrauding you and not in your corner and condescending and undermining you and circumventing. They're doing all this stuff to you and gossiping or whatever. Right now, no. I'm going to judge you according to your present and not according to your past. Because if I choose to do that, then I'm getting outside the will of the Most High, and I'm going to get the results I don't want. But if we do it like the Most High, guess what happens? you're going to closely find out that the people that do remain in your circle are the real ones. And instead of having 20, you might only have 4. But those 4 is all you need. Those 4 is all you need. I would rather just have 3 people that really want to serve the Most High than 20 people that's really hypocrites. Really, when they get home, they really still smoking weed, or really still lying, or really still doing this, or secretly in fornication, but come to service every Sabbath, fringed up, saying shalom. No, I'm good. Give me a couple real ones. That's all I need. Give me some real ones, right? And I'm pretty sure that's all you need. And some real people in your corner that's not going to defraud you. The willingness to let go is the pinnacle of self-love too. The willingness to let someone go, to cut someone off because you set boundaries and say, I will not tolerate that. That is one of the pinnacles of self-love and self-esteem. And the reason why women still stay in an abusive relationship, because they don't believe they could get better. The reason why guys simp out and let girls mistreat them and this and wear the pants in the house and this, talk them all and embarrass them in front of their friends and whatnot, is because, man, I haven't gotten a woman in a while. I don't think I could get a woman. This is probably the best I could get. And they have self-esteem issues. This is why men and women put up with things. This is why you put up with the mom. But once you say, you know what, Mom, I don't want anything to do. What? You're going to just do that? I did all this stuff. There they go. Just like all these people think they're going to get into the kingdom is going to use their past. No. If the Almighty uses your present, we're using our present, because I'm seeking the ways of the Most High. When he sees me, he should see his reflection. My behavior needs to mimic his. And if he doesn't live off the past, neither shall I. I'm not going to be a chain to my past of my wife or my mom or my dad or my brother or sister that's chaining me back because, oh, the past. You were there for me in the past, so I got to put up with disrespect in the present. No, I'm not good. Because you were good to me in the past, I got to put up with disrespect in the present and in the future. No, I'm good. Have some self-love. Have some self-respect. Set your boundaries. Set your boundaries. And there you go. Last scripture real quick. Isaiah 59:1. Sometimes cutting people off could be a partial. It could be, Sister Winnie use a good example. Say someone was short of some change, and you say, "Oh, I'll pay for that for you," or "Oh, you got, and you pay. It's $3 here, $3 there. By the time you need help, like, "Hey man, can you get something off the truck? I left my wallet at home. You gonna pay me back?" Like, bro, 3 or 4 times I spotted you, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And the one time I asked you, you want the payback? Okay. You are being 100% friend, and they just want to be a 30% friend. And so now you cut that area off. Now oh man, can you give me? I can get you. You gonna pay me back though? And then he'll be like, yeah, bro. I mean, we pay each other back, right? And then they're gonna get offended because, well, the last 2 times you said don't worry about it, even though the recent time I wanted my money back because I don't value you that much or whatever. And then now you want me to pay you back, they might get a pause. Some people feel like they're entitled because you did it the last 3 times, and now when you say, hey, you gonna pay me back? That's the relationship you want, right? When I needed you to spot me, I had to pay you back. And now you want me to, the tables is turned, I want you to pay me back. I would have had it, we wasn't keeping tabs. We just cool. We not even keeping tabs. You my boy, don't even worry about it. When I'm short, you got me, we don't worry about it. That's how I wanted it. But you wanted to keep tabs, and so now we're keeping tabs. That non-tab keeping, that's cut off. I cut you off on that area. That's setting your boundaries. That's setting your boundaries. That's having self-love, right? That's Isaiah 59:1. 59:1. Let's get it. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither is his ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you that he would not hear. There's going to be people you have the ability to help, but you will not do it because they chose to set a limitation on how much they will love you. They chose to say, I don't value this to this degree. And so even though I have the ability to help, I could easily say, hey, I have an extra car. Borrow my car, dude. But I know that there was a situation where I needed help, and I know if the tables were turned, you won't do it. So, all right, catch the bus. What? Catch the bus. I won't. All right, man. That's sad, man. Hopefully, you get your car fixed. Well, yes, I have the ability to do it, but I'm not going to do it because you just revealed that you don't value me that high. And because you just want to be a 20% friend, I'll be a 20% friend. We could hang out, chop it up, eat lunch together, laugh, joke. We'll do all that good stuff while we're at work. But no, I'm not going to be able to help you in that capacity no more because I reserve that to the real ones. That's reserved for the real ones, not the fake ones. And so, same thing. It's not that his arm can't reach you. It's not that he can't save you. It's not that his ear is too heavy that he cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated me. And that's how you need to deal with these people. Set your boundaries. Be willing to cut people off. Have some self-respect, have some self-love, and have some dignity. We're children of the Most High. We are not doormats of the Most High. We are children of the Most High. And we don't have to tolerate disrespect. Yes, we don't have to render evil for evil. And we don't have to exact revenge our enemies. But we do have the power to cut people out of our lives. Mother, wife, son, daughter, uncle, co-worker, niece, whoever. Anyone that doesn't presently want to be with you, hey, set your boundaries, enforce your boundaries, and stick to your boundaries, no matter how good or how great, how little or how minor, major or minor. Set those boundaries. With all that said being done, keep standing. Don't drop standards. Give the Almighty a hand clap. Shalom.